Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Today I'm sharing with you a mixed media art journal page, and it started out on this dark gel print. This book is one that I had for Art Journal Habit 2019, which is a daily art journal page challenge with prompts. I didn't finish the whole book. I don't remember what happened. I got sick or something, who knows. And so I have a few pages left in it. So I figured I'd pull one out and do some art journaling with junk from my desk. This little bin just has pieces and parts that are small that haven't been sorted yet and haven't been used up, and maybe there's things from envelopes and there's things from I don't know, it's just little stuff. Like if I was using something and I had a small piece left that I thought was interesting, I just throw it in there. It's getting really full, over full, and I'm going to try to use some of it up this month, the month of May, just because I feel like using some of it up. So that's what I'm going to do. So I pulled out this really weird dark. It's got a stencil print on it, but then it must not have picked up all the way, and it has a lot of this dark brown stuff in it, and it looks kind of, I don't know, I thought it looked kind of vintage and weird, and I don't know, anyway, I decided that it would be something that would be good to collage over the top. So I just grabbed a few bits that I thought might work and threw them on my desk, and I'm just messing around with them. So I'm kind of sorting through, I'm laying things out, I'm auditioning things. There's a definite brown in the background. There's also a teal or turquoise color in the background, and I like to pair blues with oranges, turquoises and greens. Those type of blue colors I think look really nice with orange. So some of the pieces that I pulled out were orange or rust or those type of colors. I also pulled out some little scraps of vintage colored papers that are kind of, buff colored because they're aged. Maybe they have text on them. The background was so dark though that I thought I would just do some random mark making over it with some white gesso before I even started. So I just grabbed a brush and made some random horizon line type marks and some splatters with my white gesso. This is golden white gesso. It's a really nice gesso. I'm happy with it. Probably because it's golden and it's more expensive. I mean, in art supplies, in actuality, the more you spend, the better they are. It's sad, and it's true though. Where you can go generic with some things, and you still can with art supplies. I'm not saying you have to buy the most expensive thing, but you'll be happier with the products in most cases when you're going with the more artist quality, which means more expensive products. So I've always used inexpensive gesso from Walmart, and I finally gave in and bought this white gesso from Golden. I'm like, why didn't I just do that before? It's really nice. And so yeah, anyway, I started out with it's tea bag, and it had some ink on it, and I'm not sure really how that happens. I don't know if I did it or if I just don't know. It had orange ink on it, splatters of orange ink, and they were definitely not water soluble. So I'm guessing it must have been alcohol ink on there. So it had that orange color that I wanted. So I tore it in half and I glued that down first. I didn't do a very good job of using the right glues on this project. I was lazy. I had very, very much different weights of paper. And when you use a tissue paper or a napkin, you need to use a fluid medium. I've told you that before, but it's really true, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I did get out the fluid matte medium and put the tea paper, tissue paper on there with that. But then I got out my Liquitex matte medium, and the next piece I put on was very heavy and thick. Is that one across the bottom, which had also a lot of other collage on top of it. Yeah, it was heavy. And so I put my Liquitex matte medium on there, but I still had to go and get some tacky glue because it just would not lay down. It was so thick and heavy. So, that's the glue lesson that I've been talking to you guys about for years. If you've been listening to my videos, that there really is a difference about what you glue things on, and how well they stay down, how well they do or do not wrinkle or bubble, and yeah. So you'll see in a minute I really messed up with the glue. But I had this little cutout piece of heart-shaped napkin that was a light turquoise color, and I thought that would look really nice behind this little picture. Must have come from a book or something. I don't even know. It's funny little baby. And you see how when I tried to put that napkin on with the Liquitex matte gel medium, do you see what happened? It just doesn't work. It tore when I tried to smooth it out. The matte gel is too thick, and it caught on the napkin and ripped it. So then I didn't have that piece anymore because I didn't just take the second it would have taken to get out a fluid medium. So there's your lesson for today. If you don't get anything from my collage or glazing or mark making or choices of papers, do get the lesson about using the right glue for the right job. So I have this little piece with some words on it that I think I tore off from a letter that somebody wrote me in Happy Mail. I think it was from stationery. That's what I'm thinking. Um, I don't remember who wrote the note or anything like that, or where the stationery came from. I just liked what it said. I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. And that is so true. Um, you don't have to, be a fine artist, learned person who went to college for art to understand art. It's really all about how you feel about it and how it makes you feel, and how well the artist conveyed what they were feeling when they made it to you. That's really all there is to know about art. You don't have to know all the old masters and have all the pigments for all the the paints memorized, and know what colors make mud. I mean, that's a good thing to know. But really, when you want to enjoy art, it's really just about what you see and whether you like it or not. That's just the truth. So I'm continuing to just put on little pieces here and there, trying to build up some a color story. I decided I wanted a little bit of this purpley color on there too, as kind of my third choice for colors. Then when I was happy with all the collage, I trimmed it out, um, to make it back into a rectangle. And then I thought I needed some glazing maybe. I wanted the photos to look vintage, but I wanted the background to have a cool tone so that the warm tone of all the collage and the photo would stand out. So the first glazing I made was with some um, blue green light Decoart media fluid paint, which is a turquoise color. And I put it with glazing medium. Glazing medium is a paint without pigment in it. So it helps you thin out your paint and make a real thin translucent glaze out of it. And so I put a little bit of that on my palette, put a drop of that blue green, and then I went over some of the areas in the background to try to make them a little bit more blue green turquoisey color. Of course, they're dark. The background's dark, so it didn't maybe do as much as I had wanted. Then I got out some quinacridone gold, which is a translucent orangey color, but I did mix it with some glazing medium to thin it out even more. And I put some of that on everywhere around the orangey, warm colored areas, and over the photo. And just I wanted it to be aged looking, but yet warm. So another option on the colors, I should have maybe used the transparent yellow iron oxide is really good for making things warm but aged looking. And then I thought maybe I maybe made everything too dark. So I've made up a little bit of buff titanium glaze and put some of that on, trying to lighten a few areas, just, leaving white space, a thing I really struggle with. And this thing was so dark when I started. So, yeah, I thought maybe that would help. Yeah, I'm not sure it really made a difference. So then I figured I would do some mark making and shadows on there. So I got out my Stabilo all black pencil, went around the photo so that it would have kind of a little bit of a frame, and I'm activating and blending that with a water brush. And then I thought I would maybe accent some interesting lines across the bottom, maybe down the side where some of that collage is. And in order to not make too uniform of a line, I'm twisting my wrist and the pencil as I go, as I drag it, just to make interesting lines. And I liked how the lines turned out. So then I finish activating that and adding a few more lines. I add some orange dots here and there with a Arteza acrylic marker just to kind of pump up that orange and to add just some more interesting marks. And I also went over the words with a micron permanent pen because when I put the glazing over, the words kind of faded and I wanted them to come back to the forefront. So I went over them, and it's tricky to write in someone else's handwriting. Um, it's there and you're tracing it, but it's still your own handwriting fights you and wants to come through. It's kind of funny. I also added some white splatters. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick little Monday art journal page. I've got some more stuff coming up. I'm really going to try to get my booty in gear for May. So, yeah, just like everyone, being in quarantine is hard, and I don't have much motivation, and I really just want to watch TV and eat. But I need to do art in my studio, and so this was a good warm-up exercise for that. If you've enjoyed this, please remember to give it a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment or question if you want to. You can subscribe and turn on your notification bells, and you can look back through all the other over 800 videos. So that's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.